Hello, in this video, I'm going to go through all the cards included in the Silverquill Influence Commander deck. This deck is focused on Aura control and making your foes attack each other. First, I'm going to go through all the new cards printed in this Commander deck, and then I'm going to go through all the cards that they included. Killian, Decisive Mentor, is 1 a white and a black for a 2/3. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, tap up to one target creature and goad it. Whenever one or more creatures that are enchanted by an Aura you control attack, draw a card. Scriv, the Obligator, is the other face commander of this deck. For 2 a white and a black, it's a 2/3 flying death touch inkling bird. Whenever it enters or attacks, create a white enchantment named Contract attached to target creature an opponent controls. The token has enchant creature, and whenever enchanted creature attacks, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn if it's attacking one of your opponents. Otherwise, its controller loses 2 life. So, Killian goads our opponent's things and draws us cards whenever creatures attack if they have an aura on them that we control. So our opponents attack with an aura we draw. Scriv puts auras onto things and benefits us when our opponents attack our other opponents, or they take extra damage if they want to attack us. Forum Filibuster is 3 white for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. When you do, return up to one target Aura or equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to that token. So every single turn, we get a 2/1, and we get to regenerate from our graveyard, reanimate something, an Aura or equipment. Herald of Amity is 3 and a white for a 2/2 with flying. It's a griffin. Whenever this creature enters, exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may cast an Aura spell from among them without paying its mana cost. Then put the rest on the bottom of its owner's library in your bottom of your library. You're the owner in a random order. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of auras you control. So as it enters, you get to cast 1 aura from your top 8 for free, and it gets a buff whenever it attacks for the number of auras we control. As you can see, there's going to be a lot of auras in this deck. Changing Loyalty is 1 and a black for a flash replicate 2, so you can pay 2 as many times to copy the spell. Enchant creatures, and when enchant creature dies, return to the battlefield under your control. So you don't have to only stick this on your creatures. You can stick it on your opponent's creatures, and they come back under your control. And if you have 6 mana, you can get back 3. Now, if you try to target your opponent's commanders, when they die, they'll get the choice to put it back in the command zone or give it to you. So you're not going to get it. Let's just say that. Coercive Impetus is 2 and a black enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and is goaded. And whenever enchanted creature attacks, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So you can use this to goad your opponent's things, forcing them to attack every turn, and the whole time you get to draw cards off of it, which is nice. Intermediate Chirography. 1 and a black. When this in class enters, create a 2/1. Whenever you lose life for the first time each turn, play the +++ counter on target creature you control. And that counts your opponent's turn, so if they attack you with a 1/1 and you lose a life, you get to put a ++ counter on something. At the beginning of each end step, so that's also on yours and your opponent's, if a modified creature died under your control, create a 2/1 token with flying. So you can keep making these chump blockers. You lose life, you put a ++ counter on it, and then it replaces the chump blockers. Defacing Dusk Mage is white and a black for a 2/2. It has Death Touch, and whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, this creature becomes prepared. And you can cast Vandal's Edit for 1 a white and a black, draw 2. Each player loses 2. So not just you, but each player loses 2 whenever an opponent draws their second card, which is not hard to do. Now, I will say the art of this card looks like a cheaply edited me. Like that dog head is just like, all right, this doesn't look right. But Eclipsed Step is land, plains, swamp. It enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. They're finishing out the cycle, which is nice. Turbulent Moor. I've heard this referred to as the Cinnamon Roll lands. This land enters tapped unless your opponents control 8 or more lands, and that's all of your opponents combined, right? So as long as all 3 of your opponents have 3 lands, this comes in play untapped. Umbral Expanse. This land enters tapped. It's a cycler, but it's also your 2 types. Now into the reprints. Johnny's Chosen is 2 white for a 3/3. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, make a 2/2 cat. If the enchantment was an Ur, you may attach it to that token. Now, our secondary commander, Scriv the Obligator, creates tokens. So just entering or attacking with if you choose the second commander, will give you a 2/2 every time. Angelic Destiny is just a good card for both commanders. 2 white for enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +4/+4, flying in first strike, and becomes an angel. And whenever the enchanted creature dies, return it to its owner's hand. Animate Dead, crazy to see this reprinted in the commander deck. For 1 and a black, it enchants a creature card in the graveyard. And it says a lot of things, but it basically says it reanimates something and it gets -1/-0. And whenever that card leaves, whenever the aura or the creature leaves, both leave. It's reanimate, but if the Ura leaves, you lose the creature, and it gets -1/-0. Fantastic card, great to keep getting back with all of our reanimation of Ura type effects. Anguish Unmaking, good removal for the deck. Arcane Signet, good to ramp on our non-green deck. Armored Sky Hunter, 3 white for a 3/3 Cat Knight Flyer. I feel like they put this card in a lot of commander decks, and I've never been happy with it, but whenever this creature attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put an Ura or equipment card from one of them onto the battlefield. If an equipment is put onto the battlefield this way, you may attach it to a creature you control. Put the rest of those cards in the bottom of your library in a random order. So whenever this thing attacks, you can play one of your top 6 for free. I mean, I don't know. You have to attack with this thing first. So it always just has felt slow to me, but maybe it's fine. I don't know. Arcane of Sun's Grace is 2 white for a 3/4. This card's good. Flying lifelink gives Pegasus creatures you control lifelink. Whenever an enchantment enters, you make a 2/2. Brina the Demigogue is white, black, 1 for a 1/3 with flying. Whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, if that opponent has more life than another of your opponents, the attacking player draws a card and you put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature you control. So just adding more politics to the game, helping people choose to attack, the higher life total players. Chains of Custody, 2 and a white. When this Ura enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this Ura leaves the battlefield. And you enchant the creature, and the enchanted creature gets warped too. So protects your creature and removes something until it leaves. Combat Calligrapher is 3 and a white. Calligrapher is 3/3 for a flying. Inklings can attack you or planeswalkers you control. Whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, that attacking player creates a tapped 2/1 that's attacking that opponent. So as long as your opponents attack each other, they get more attackers to attack each other with. Darksteel Mutation makes a creature into an insect. Indestructible, loses all of their abilities. Great to put on a commander, because now it's just stuck in play. It's dead. It doesn't do anything, and they can just recast it. Doomwake Giant, 4 and a black for a 4/6. Whenever this creature or another enchantment you control enters, creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. That just kills all the Llanowar Elves of the table. 2 enchantments kill all the zombie tokens, most of the human tokens. Just does a lot of work. This card's great. Eidolon of Countless Battles, 1 white. It is an XX equals the number for each creature you control, and it gets +1/+1 for each Ura you control. And if you bestow it, it's an Ura that's on your creature that gives it +X, and then +X. And then whenever the enchanted creature dies, it comes back as an XX, and it still counts as an enchantment, which is great. Eldrazi Conscription is 8 mana for enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +10/+10 and has Trample and Annihilator 2. Now, this is a good card to hit off of the Armored Sky Hunter I was just dogging on so much, but very fun. Area of the Charmed Apple is 1 white-black. Each creature that's enchanted by an Ura you control can attack you or planeswalkers you control. Fantastic with Scriv. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life for X as the number of Uras you control. Just tax the board down. That's cool. And if those enchantments entering, Killian goads them, and then whenever the creatures that enchanted by an Ura attacks, you draw a card. It guarantees that creature attacks one of your opponents. Just a good synergy there. Fallen Ideal is 2 and a black. Enchanted creature gets flying, and Saka creature gets 2+2/+1. And whenever the Ura is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return it to your hand instead. So just keep being able to put this enchantment onto things. Thalwar Stone, good to ramp. Firemane Commando is 3 and a white, fantastic card. It's a 4/3 with flying. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, draw a card. Whenever another player attacks with 2 or more creatures, they draw a card if none of those creatures attacked you. So not going to be hard to attack with 2 creatures, especially when you have, Inklings flying around. And it also incentivizes your opponents to attack each other. Now, playing this enchantment strategy is going to take some build up. And so rewarding your opponents for not attacking you while you build up will pay off well. Flickering Ward is 1 white. When it enters, choose a color. Enchanted creature is protected from the chosen color. You compare it to return it to your hand. If there's a different color you want to protect against, or a different creature you want to protect, You can also do it in response to the creature dying and just go ahead and grab the aura back. Fracture, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. Ghostly Prison, creatures can't attack you unless the controller pays 2 for each creature they control attacking you. Gift of Immortality, enchants a creature. Whenever enchanted creature dies, you return to the battlefield, then you return this card to the battlefield attached to that creature at the beginning of next end step. So they have a window to kill the creature, and they have to kill it twice in a row. Ghoulish Impetus is 2 and a black. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1, Death Touch, and is goaded. And whenever the enchanted creature dies, you return this aura to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. So it comes into play, you stick out into one of your opponent's creatures again, keeps being goaded, it keeps getting bigger. It's nice. Hateful Eidolon is 1 black for a 1/2. Whenever enchanted creature dies, whenever unenchanted creature dies, you draw a card for each aura you control that was attached to it. You're putting auras onto things and then summoning them into battle to die. So drawing cards off of that is great, especially when a good amount of our enchantments like this, Ghoulish Impetus, come back to us. It's not really like we're down a card. We're actually up a card with Hateful Eidolon. Ink Shield, prevent all combat damage to be dealt to you this turn. For each 1 damage from this way, create a 2/1. This is one of the ways we're going to win the game. They're going to attack you for 30. You're going to prevent the damage. You're going to make 60 power worth of creatures and then kill your opponents. Keen Duelist, at the beginning of your upkeep, you and target opponent each reveal the top card of your library. You lose life equal to the mana value of the card revealed by the other player. You put the card you revealed into your hand. So it's like a double Dark Confidant, except for your opponent takes the damage instead of you taking the damage for your own thing. Killian Ink Duelist is white-black for a 2/2. Spells you cast that target a creature cost 2 less to cast, so that's your enchantments. And also doesn't say that target your stuff. So if you target your opponent's things, you get -2/-2. Core Spirit Dancer, +2/+2 for each aura enchanted to it, and whenever you cast an aura spell, you draw a card. Tons of card draw in this deck. It's great. But I will say your Scriv enters or attacks does not count as casting an aura spell, but it does count as an aura attached to something for Hateful Eidolon. Land Tax, fantastic reprint in this deck. 1 white for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for up to 3 basic land cards, reveal them, put into your hand, and shuffle. You're not playing green, so you're not going to expedite the number of lands you control by, cultivating, etc., far-seeking, etc. So you're going to be able to go get 3 basic lands off this pretty often. It's going to be nice. Mangara, the Diplomat, is 3 white for a 2/4 with lifelink. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you, you draw a card. And whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card. There's a ton of card draw in this deck, and I just love it. Martial Impetus is 2 and a white. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and is goaded. And whenever an enchanted creature attacks, each other creature that's attacking one of your opponents get +1/+1 until end of turn. So this makes it so your opponents have to attack each other and further rewards them for attacking each other. Nilled Disciplined Enforcer is 3 and a white for a 2/2. At the beginning of your end step, for each player, put a +1/+1 counter up to 1 target creature that player controls. And then it does the Ghostly Prison thing, where they can attack you with X, unless the X are on that creature. So you can put them on one of your opponents and stop them from being able to attack unless they pay 1, then proliferate or put more +1/+1 counters on things, etc. Parasitic Impetus is 2 and a black. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and is goaded. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks, its controller loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. So it has to attack, and you're punishing them for attacking. Pearl Eel Imperial Advisor is white, 1 for a 3/4 with lifelink. Enchantment spells you cast have affinity for auras, so your auras make other auras cheaper. Whenever you cast an aura spell that targets a modified permanent you control, draw a card. So this demands that you target your own stuff with it, which is probably a better card for Scriv than Killian. Promise of Loyalty, each player puts a vow counter on a creature they control and then sacrifice the rest. And they can't attack you. The creatures with vow counters can't attack you. Rafine's Guidance, 1 white. +1/+1. You may cast this card from a grave for paying 2 and a white rather than paying its mana cost. So this has some repeatability to it, recursion to it. Redemption Arc is 2 and a white. Enchanted creature gets indestructible and is goaded. Then you can eventually just pay to exile it. But it's a goaded creature that has to keep attacking and it has indestructible. Stick this on a Trampler and you're going to be in good. Sage's Reverie is 3 and a white. When this aura enters, draw a card for each aura you control is attached to a creature. So not just the creature, just any creature. And then it gets +1/+1 for each aura you control that's attached to a creature. Screams from Within is black, 1. Enchanted creature gets -1/-1, and whenever an enchanted creature dies, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So this is, again, just another repeatable enchantment that just keeps coming back, keeps entering, triggers all of your ETBs. Very good. So you get Rendezvous, you and target opponent each draw a few cards. Sentinel's Eyes is 1 white, +1/+1 in Vigilance. Then you can just exile 2 cards from graveyard to escape it, so it has some recursion to it. Shadrick's Silverquill is 3 white and a black for a 2/5 flying double strike. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may choose 2. Each mode must target a different player. Target player puts +++ count on each creature they control. Target player draws a card and you lose a life. Target player creates a 2/1 flying black, white Inkling. So you only have to choose 2, and you can choose one of them to be you. So you always get a benefit, and then one of your opponents get a benefit. Shielded by Faith is 1 white enchant creature. Enchanted creature has indestructible, and whenever a creature enters, you may attach this Ura to that creature. Now, that's just anyone's creature entering, so you can pass this around the table constantly. Sheltered by Ghosts enters, exiles something, and gives the enchanted thing lifelink, ward 2, and +1/+0. Good old Soul Ring, Songbird's Blessing is 3 and a white for an enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal an Ura card. You may put that card onto the battlefield. If you don't, put it into your hands. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. So this guarantees you hit an Ura. I wonder if this card is better than the cat. It's probably better than the cat because it's more on theme, right? We want to have enchantments entering, so it's a good card. Spirit Mantle, +1/+1 and pro creatures, so it can't be blocked. Saram, Senior Edificer, put this on a goated creature, and now you're just guaranteed to hit your opponents. Saram, Senior Edificer is white 1 for a 2/2 whenever you cast an Ura, equipment, or vehicle spell, draw a card. More card draw. Starfield Mystic, enchantment spells cost 1 less. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1 counter on this creature. So not when it enters, but when it leaves. Talisman of Hierarchy, good old ramp. Tomic, Wielder of Law. This card's super interesting. For 1, a white and a black, it's a 2/4 with affinity for Planeswalkers. That does not matter for our deck. It's from a different set. Flying Vigilance. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and or Planeswalkers you control, that player loses 3 life and you draw a card. So we are incentivizing our opponents to attack other players or forcing them to attack other players with our goaded things. Transient Envoy is white 1 for a 1/2. Ura spells cost 1 less, and it has flying, so it wears them well, but also just makes them cheaper, and flying's good to hit with. Vanishing Verse, exile target monocolored permanent. There's plenty of those. Can't hit colorless things, but it can hit everything but commanders mostly. I mean, there's multicolored cards you can't hit. Winds of Wrath, destroy all creatures that are not enchanted. So this is our on-theme board wipe. Protects your stuff if you enchant them, and protects your opponent's things that you put resources into enchanting these creatures, and you did it for a reason. You goaded them for a reason, so protecting them is good. Now into the lands. Arcane Lighthouse makes it so your opponent's creatures lose hexproof and shroud, so you can enchant them even when you wouldn't be able to. Bojuka Bog exiles target player's graveyard, good against the Lorehold player that's trying to do some shenanigans, or the Reanimator player, the Muldrotha player. Cage's Coraloris, good old untapped mana. If you lose some life in the early game, not a big deal. You have 40 life, and in the late game, just tap it for colorless, man. Command Tower, Desolate Mire, Filterland, Exotic Orchard. It's going to be very unlikely that your 3 opponents are now playing white or black, so this card's great. Fabled Passage, good reprint. Fetid Heath. I love the filter lands like this. I think I called this a filter land. I don't know what this is called. This is a filter land. I love these. I remember when I used to spend a couple bucks on these, and now they're sub 50 cents. Great card. Tap land that surveils. It's better than just a strict tap land. Plains or Swamp, Isolated Chapel, good card. Path of Ancestry. I don't know how often you're really going to cast something that shares a creature type with your commander. I mean, I guess there's humans and I guess there's birds, but it's just a tap land that adds for you 2 colors. There are 8 plains in the deck. Shine Shadow Snarl cares if you have a plains or a swamp in your hand to have it come and play untapped. Silverquill Campus, Scries, and it's on theme since it's Silverquill. Study Hall, on theme, haha. Add 1 mana of any color when you spend this mana, cast your commander Scry X. Sunlit Marsh is just a tap land that has the 2 types you care about. Temple of Silence enters in Scry's 1. Tap, sack the land, just search for basic land cards, just fix your mana. And then War Room, 3 tap, pay life equal to the number of colors in your commander's color identity, draw a card. And then there are 8 swaps, but I guess I didn't make a slide for that. So those are all the cards included in the Silverquill Commander deck. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. There are tons of juicy reprints, but I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and may your top decks be ever in your favor. Thank you.